Hi, it's Diana and my cat Spanx. We've had Spanx for quite some time. He's nearly 10 years old or more, and so is Pepper. But our Christmas has turned. I want to wish everybody a happy new year and all well things going well with you this year. Um, Thanksgiving was a we know it was a bad thing for me. My meds weren't working right, and I was in the midst of switching between my depression medicines because you know it takes several weeks or more to get adjusted to these pills. So at that time on Thanksgiving, I wasn't doing so well, and I had high expectations, and of course, with the higher you go, the further you drop, kind of a thing. But um, but we had Christmas dinner on Saturday, on the 27th, which is really cool because all my kids got to come, and my daughter, my daughter's husband Eli, his family got to come, and so we had a pretty good sized Thanksgiving Christmas dinner, and we played bingo, and we the kids got to open their presents, and it was always so fun. And we ate dinner, and we had several tables in the same room, and we all ate in the same place, and we talked and had a great time. It was more wholesome than my Thanksgiving dinner was. It was a good dinner, but the it was it just wasn't what I planned out, I was hoping for. But this time I think it's because I didn't have as much responsibility. It really worked a lot better for me when I because I can bake all week long at my house and take it over to my daughter's, which I do. I did the ham and the turkey like I did always do. I take it over there, and Eli's dad actually cut it up with a electrical knife, and it was the first time I actually got to see him cut up a turkey, and he was so proud of it too, and he did a great job. A lot better than me. I would have just chopped right on. I know how to slice turkey, I do, but he did it a lot better than mine. And we had ham, and the honey I used. This is how I flavored my ham because I like it sweet compared to that cinnamon nutmeg thing that you usually get in those packets, like the that you want to glaze your ham with. Well, anyways, the I made what I did was I took um, maple syrup. First, I sliced up the ham and then of course put it back in its original shape because it was a bonus ham, and that way I can pour the maple syrup all over the top of it. And then I took a can of pineapple slices. I took some of that pineapple juice and I poured that on top of it. And then I put some slices um, of pineapple on top of it. It went and with a toothpick, I pierced some um those cherries, and I stuck that in the middle of each one of the rings. It looked really good, and it was tastier too that way. But it turned out awesome. Everybody got things. We played Christmas bingo, which was everybody brings a $20 item, and we put it on one table, and then all the adults, children. I buy children's things for bingo that they don't have to to substitute like what we do. I bought extra stuff to put on the bingo thing for children to win as well. And but what we do is we got $5 items, and then we got the $20 table and the $5 table. And then what happens is that your first item you win is the big item, so you get to pick one from the 20. And see, I usually bring three or four or more $20 items, so I usually take my big item first, and the one big item first, and then I'll go and we go for the $5 table. So everybody wins that one big item first. And then what's left over, I I usually keep what I get, but not so often. I've got children that says, "Can I have this for this person and have that for that person?" I go right ahead. It's better than bringing it back home to me. Oh, my husband and I, oh, we had a great time last night. We stayed up, and our neighbors shoot up those big old fireworks that you see that like a park would have, but they're only half a block down the street, so we can sit in our yard and watch it, and our neighbors across the street are new, so they were in their backyard, and they didn't know it was going to happen, but then it started to happen. They were all screaming and hollering, thinking it was so awesome. Our neighborhoods are really great when it comes to fireworks. Every time a Chiefs won a tackle or, let's see, not a home run, scored a goal, you'll hear the booms going on around here because they like to celebrate when the Chiefs win something. Um, I haven't been sleeping well, so if I look really tired, it's because I take my sleeping pills, my medication I'm on now. It keeps me wired up, so I have to take that medication. That depression medication is to keep you wired up, and so it wired me up so that when it came time for me to go to bed at 9 o'clock at night, I took my sleeping pills. I got an oxygen machine, and you can probably see the little lines I got along my face right there where I got the oxygen comes across my nose. And I had to tape it to my face. So I really got some smooth skin up there. There ain't no chance for that dead skin to build up there and give me more wrinkles. But yeah, so we had stayed up last night, but I haven't, as I said, we stayed up and listened to the fireworks and everything, and it was so cool. And we got to go out and see it the outside, and it's nice when you can sit in your yard and watch fireworks instead of having to go someplace to it, because all these neighbors has got huge fireworks, and so it is. But we went to Walmart and we collected a lot of candy because we didn't have any candy at the house. And you know, when you get candy half price or so at Walmart, you just got to get it. It was a lot of things that we liked, you know. And they had Russell Stovers, those big old boxes too. They're like 14, 15 ounce box, those big flat ones. They were only $7 and something cents over there at Walmart's Russell Stovers. Yeah, I went to sleep at 7:30 this morning. I got up at 9:30. I stayed in bed for another hour, and that's because at 9:30 I went ahead and took my morning pills. I want to take at 9 o'clock, 9:30, because one of them is my depression medicine, and I want to get that kick in early. I don't want to go in. I didn't want to wait until the afternoon to take that because that'll linger me on and on during the night. But I took my depression medicine yesterday, and it kept me going. And every night it's a challenge because I go to sleep around 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'm wide awake at midnight, and I take my sleeping pills. I take 1.5 sleeping pills. No, yeah, 1.5 sleeping pills at around 9 o'clock at night. Between 9 and 10, I take my 1.5 sleeping pills. I'm lucky if I go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. But today, I didn't go to sleep until 7:30 in the morning, so there's my eyes. It's kind of looking tired, isn't it? But the weather's been really cold. The good thing is that we're in a warm, solid house, and that's a big difference from when we were kids. You know, you just couldn't get enough blankets. See, I actually asked my grandma. I said, "Grandma, it's so cold here. How can we stay warm?" And she said, you have your sheet, then you put a newspaper, and then you put your blanket over that, and it insulates your heat. And it worked. It was awesome. Grandma was so full of, I can call grandma and ask for things. And she felt really good knowing that I would ask her for things because, after all, I am her oldest granddaughter. But I was more attentive even when I was a young kid. I'm introverted, so I stayed at grandma's a lot. And when the kids would go running around the neighborhoods and everything, I didn't have friends because I was introverted. And when you raised up with someone that's broken like my mom, you didn't bring home friends. So I didn't want anyone to come over to my house. My siblings had friends come over, but I I didn't want to have to face the children when I went back to school the next day or so. And and it was a really bad on my 13th birthday because that did happen. I wanted a slumber party. I'm 13 years old, going to be, and I wanted a slumber party, and Mom said she would let me have a slumber party. But I asked Mom, Mom, will you please not talk to the TV set? Because, see, Mom thought there was a transmitter in the TV set. And she'll turn up the volume to listen to it, thinking she's hearing someone talking to her from the TV, and then she'll turn it down really low so that she can respond back to them. And I, I just, and I, the only reason why I had friends come over, uh, because if I went and just invited a friend, they would not come over. But if I said so and so's coming over too, and that worked, they all started coming over because so and so's coming over too. But the thing is, my mom did talk to the TV set. I was so upset that I crawled in my sleeping bag and curled up, and I didn't want to wake up. I did not want to wake up. And I did have to go to school that Monday. And that whole weekend, I prayed that God would take me away. And what was so nice was that only one child came up to me later on in school, and she just came up to me and says, I just want you to know my mom's the same way. I wanted you to know that. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. My mom's the same way. And you know what? I know her mom wasn't the same way. She was just being so kind to me. But yeah, but it was I get to struggles over the holidays, because we went without Christmas so often, and always towards the end of the month we were completely out of groceries. So we were not only going without Christmas, but we were actually sick because we had nothing but stomach acid coming up. Well, we were vomiting stomach acid, and we'd be so sick. And but one year when I was 14, I started babysitting for $8 a week after school. And at that time, Mom was still at her peak. And she was at her peak for a good many years with her mental breakdown. But I forgot what I was going to say. It's my ADHD kicking in. But yeah, Mom's habit at the time was cigarettes and coffee. And she goes, that's the only enjoyment I have in my life. But you know what? If that's her last cent, she'd spend it on cigarettes and coffee and not food for us kids. And so what I did was I started saving up because I plan ahead on things, and I started saving up. She wanted to do me like her mom did her, and that was to take her wages. And I told her, no, you can't have it. And she smoked 3 packs a day. 3 packs a day. And if I can't afford her cigarettes, and so I got like one packet, and I would ration it out during the week because Diana here bought things for the family. I saved up for so many weeks before Christmas, and that Christmas uh, I I went and took the kids to TGNY, which is like a Family Dollar store, but a TGNY, and I let them pick out and acoustic guitars. Joy and Penny picked out a guitar because um, Peter, Paul, and Mary was out. Those folk singers, and so that was a big deal. And they wanted to be folk singers, so they both had gotten I got them both a guitar. Martin wanted a game set, and I don't know what I got Donald. I might have gotten him a record, and then I got Mom something. I didn't get myself anything. I was too busy shopping. But we had to depend on Catholic charities and things like that when I was a kid. Because we went to a Catholic school and they provided food. But when they bring over toys and things like that, like one winter Christmas, they brought over some toys. They were infant toys, and none of us were infants, and clothes that never fit and things like that. They were all brand new, but they weren't for us, because we were older. We weren't infants, definitely. And I've even went to St. Agnes, and the school principal, not Mother Teresa, but Mother Gabriel. She took me and one other student out of our classes, and they took us all the way out to the shoe store and got us both a pair of shoes. That was when I was in 7th grade at St. Agnes in Mission, Kansas. But anyways, I just want to tell everybody Happy New Year. I had a great holiday. I'm exhausted. I can't get nothing done because I'm tired. I'm 70 years old. I weigh 133 pounds now. And I'm tired a lot. There's so much stuff I want to do, but it's just getting my butt out of the bed. See, my bed is my comfort zone, so that's where I always come to when I come home. I spend a majority of my day in here in the bed because I can't sit on my tailbone in a chair. I have to lay back down into the seat, so I don't push on my tailbones. My tailbones has got pressure points that's pushing through the skin, wanting to press sores through the skin. And so I don't sit on anything hard. And I got pillows in my car. I go to my daughter's. I put pillows. She sets it up for me. She's got pillows for the chairs for me. But it was so good to see my kids and my grandkids. And I'm talking about all the kids. I I gave this little boy named JJ some clothes, and he's been coming to the Christmases forever, and so I treat him like one of the grandkids. And I went up to him, I had to tell him, I go, I seen that boy, and I go, oh shit, he's a big boy now. He's a big boy. Oliver, my grandson Oliver's 16. He stands 6 foot tall. Exactly. And he wears smalls and men's. So I'm thinking him being 16 and this other boy being 12, they should be wearing the same size. Well, I get things on sale. I buy on clearance all year long, so I can give a whole bunch of good things to my children instead of buying one item, during the holiday. But actually, all year long, they get they get at least 6, 7 things, from Grandma and Grandpa, and they're not just inexpensive stuff. It's whatever, and I go really good on bargain hunting. But it was so fun to see them all together and being around them. And my daughter's wanting to set it up that we can come to her house for once a month dinners too. I told her all about my sister and having those dinners and how it was important to her back in the day. And so, but her kids all grew up and they all became Omegas and they couldn't handle her any, they did. She's an Omega. She raised her daughters to be strong-willed, just like I raised mine to be strong-willed. But my daughter didn't go separate ways. Her kids did. And that really broke her heart. And I miss her a lot. She gave me my favorite nighty gown, and it's a long sleeve gown. It's got big red roses on it. I wear it and I rub it and I say, I love you, sis. And I got with my sister Penny, I got a plant from my sister Joy brought over a plant, and I still have it to this day. But I miss them. I miss all of them. Well, anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful new year. And I'm going to have to just cut myself off because I don't know how to end things. That's my ADHD. See ya. Love ya. Mwah.